Welcome friends, just on the verge of Diwali. So, I would be wishing you probably post Diwali. But coming back to the subject, we were talking about message strategy, and then here just to remind you that we have been discussing creativity execution, that is execution perspective related to creativity, how to take it forward. And then we tried to analyze the probable objectives in terms of message strategy. And just to reiterate, define brand image, linking a key attribute to the brand name and promote brand recall, that is what we discussed. Now we are going for the fourth element, but before that I want to remind you two elements, two aspects which we have covered in preceding objectives. One is related to image ads, wherein you see usually it is an expression in relation to visual terms, because brand image has to rely on visual impression of a brand, and at a glance you should somehow get associated with that perspective. It can be in terms of a structure, a logo, a symbol, a picture, and we have been discussing this. And here one may use images to point to a brand quality or attribute or evoke a certain set of feelings about the brand. So, that is what I just wanted to remind you. And one element of repetition which we discussed earlier, so wanted to extend that it is done by buying a lot of ads or by frequently repeating the brand name within the ad itself. So, you see, because frequency repetition, it helps in generating a consistent recall. So, that is why, and there are several ads, but Nirma has utilized it quite a lot, wherein in washing powder also they have been repeating washing powder Nirma, and in their general bathing soaps also. So, Saundarya Sabun Nirma, that is what they have been doing. Now, moving towards the fourth objective, instill brand preference, there is an element of effective association, and we can look into methods and examples, wherein one is feel good ads. So, for example, Kodak advertisements related to memories of our lives, wherein several kinds of memories have been generated by, as far as that Kodak campaign goes, that touches the hearts of people. And then Coca-Cola's share happiness, and Kuch Meetha Ho Jaye of Cadbury's definitely has been a wonderful success. And there are several humor elements which are associated with, as far as effective association aspect goes. Now, Mentos, when you go for marketing or communicating about a gum, chewing gum, or let us say a candy related to sort of a chewing gum. So, what do you say? That you keep on chewing for forever and ever, basically, kind of, or it will stay with your mouth for a long time? No, you just can't. So, you just have to bring in some emotional aspect, and that can be brought in through humor actually. So, because here you want to gain the aspect of attention, recall, and rest the product will do. So, dimag ki batti jalao, although I do not know how feasible it is, but definitely you chew that gum and dimag ki batti, that is the light switches on. So, Seedhi baat no bakwas, and this Sprite campaign was a good success. At least it had a very strong recall value, as in the case of Mentos also. So, this campaign actually talked about some intelligence associated with humor and so on. You see, many a times product is not so much indifferentiable, it is already positioned and you have to move it up in the ladder. So, definitely you have to be creative, and communication does all the magic, and that is why I always call it a world of mesmerizing world of integrated marketing communication. And Ramesh Suresh campaign of 5-star was definitely a big success, so that you just watch on, and all these examples I would definitely urge you to watch on YouTube, and you will enjoy these advertisements. Just to share one feeling with you, it happens with me. Probably if you will get yourself associated with this subject in due course of time, this will happen with you as well. You see short clippings of 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 1 minute, maximum 4 or 5 minutes advertisements many a times. Within 15 minutes you feel like you have seen almost every emotion in front of you. That is the beautiful world of integrated marketing, communication and advertising, wherein you see for example, I have just enumerated 3, 4, 5 examples here, and if you just sequentially watch those, how much time it would take? Hardly 4 or 5 minutes, but after 5 minutes you would realize, yes, you have gone through humor, you have gone through some feel good perspective and so on. And then bhaiya ye diwar tootti kyun nahi, Ambuja Cement is an excellent kind of humorous campaign, wherein definitely it generated recall. Number 5, persuade customer through engagement. It is the job of communication, of course, engaging the customer. So, there are elements of arguments here, and methods and examples can be reason why ads. Now, you see it is a traditional wisdom that you massage your gums and teeth with salt, and definitely it helps actually. So, Colgate utilized that as salt has been an ingredient to one of their toothpastes. So, I do not know about many others, but then क्या आपके टूथपेस्ट में नमक है? That was an explicit kind of a statement wherein a reason, a perspective has been given to the customer, and that was the kind of USP perspective of that toothpaste as well, and we have talked about that earlier. And there are several insurance and mutual fund ads which talk about benefits or let us say reasons why you should be insuring. Mutual fund campaign, for example, specifically has been talking about long term investments and the strength of mutual funds and so on. So, and the reliability you may enjoy as far as investing in mutual fund goes, although they always put up a disclaimer that mutual fund is subject to market risks and so on, which is being true. So, hard sell ads, you see one time only sale kind of, so limited time offer, and online shopping platform can talk about such kind of things basically. For example, Diwali sale, you can find several advertisements on all the platforms, all the media available nowadays. There are comparison ads, Tides and Whites, Mac versus PC ads, and then there are cutthroat competitive perspective related to ads, wherein there is lots of competition exerted through those ads, and Coke and Pepsi and Huggies and Pampers, and I have talked about that earlier as well. So, they have been talking about this. Testimonials definitely bring a different kind of, you see when we are talking of such kind of objectives and we are talking of methods and examples here, one thing which is very important for us to understand, all of them can work, and we have to keep on trying from one to the other as well. Lots of integrated marketing communication research is being done to reach to the conclusion that what kind of thing we have to choose in terms of pursuing which kind of an objective, or can we use one method related or enumerated under one objective discussion along with the other objective when we are pursuing? Yes, we can. So, remember one thing, there is no specific formula, but it is a wisdom which I am sharing with you through examples, which can give you an insight that this specifically happened in such case, and that can be repeated as a model with some customization in similar kinds of cases. For example, testimonials, Incredible India, Mr. Amir Khan appeared in that advertisement, and Incredible India as a campaign I have talked about, it is done very well. Sensodyne, when there is an expert opinion from a dentist comes in, people who feel sensation in their teeth while eating cold or hot and so on, and that definitely matters, because people who are there is a specific target there, and then people who are actually going through that experience, they definitely look for such kind of a product. And if you go precisely for such kind of a testimonial wherein you bring in someone who acts like a doctor or is a doctor, that testimonial actually helps. Dove, wherein common brand users and common people have been brought in as testimonials, and there have been a number of advertisements. I remember MDH Masale, you know, that again has a testimonial of their leader himself. So you see, there are several kinds of, and when something went wrong in case of Cadbury, for example, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan came in. Then when Coca-Cola was passing through a different kind of a phase as far as their processing goes, so Mr. Amir Khan came in as a testimonial. And I remember so many people who enjoy credibility come forward as, you know, bringing in testimonials, and some common people also, and Lalita ji sari advertisement we have already discussed. So then comes in demonstration, Gillette razors, and I did not shave today just because of this example which I would be talking to you about, but definitely Gillette razors, you know, is a demonstrable kind of a thing basically. So, and infomercials wherein weight loss and fitness products are being exemplified, or you know, those are put across through you know, putting up the usage of those kind of things, and the process which you know, people go through as far as experiencing those things. So the next is change or reinforce customer attitude. Now this is a very tough deal actually, but here you put up, you know, let us say some anxiety ads, although this is not a very preferred kind of a methodology. Many people who have been going through developing such kind of messages, they have later on, you know, changed their stands many a times because they feel that their customer shouldn't be feeling that anxious at the end of the day. But you see, true, we would not you know, go into the debate of that, how, to what extent it is required or to what extent it is true. Messages, definitely they are not false at all. That is you know, a proposition which draws your attention, and definitely they want to talk about their products truly, which they want to get associated with you. But and it can vary to a degree in several cases and several products. So I would not go into that right now. We will be talking about that when we would be referring to the ethics related to integrated marketing communication later on. But you see, Procter & Gamble, Listerine, Saffola, Fair and Lovely, they have been actually talking about that element which people might have been facing. They would have noticed and they would have come across that storyboard, and they wanted the product to move. So there are several examples related to, you know, this kind of an emotion, a perspective to change the customer attitude. Stimulate response or action. Scare the customer into acting, that is one way to look at it, that is one aspect to be you know, projected, but it is not actually meaning scaring the customer. So you see, it is related to, you know, fear appeal advertisements, wherein you know, for example, anti-tobacco campaign. Now how do you deviate a person from usage of tobacco? Everyone knows in this world that tobacco is harmful for health. So not literally scaring, but putting up something which tells the person that this is harmful, definitely would create that kind of a picture. Road safety ads, how you stop people, you know, from driving irresponsibly. So there you have to put in those kind of elements. Climate change advertisements, and you know, several other kinds of campaigns which have actually earned lots of laurels and lots of acclaim, and they have worked. You see, today we are talking of green world, today we are today people have started discussing those kind of things, today people care about wildlife, today people talk about that kind of thing, at least it has become a part of discussion amongst this generation. So that definitely helps, and thanks to such kind of you know, advertisements related to this kind of an objective when you wish to stimulate response or action. Now let us move to one other objective, transform consumption experience. American Marketing Association defines transformational advertising as that which associates product usage with certain feelings, images or meanings that then transform the experience of using the product. Now this campaign by Google, बोलने से सब होगा, wherein the voice command which Google actually now, you know, uses for putting up things in front of you wherein you speak to Google, and that was a very successful campaign. Many a times now you see people switching on that app and asking Google, for example, about an information, about a particular kind of a product, about a particular kind of a service, about a restaurant nearby, about a medical store nearby, about the meaning of a some specific word, and that kind of a thing. You see, that feature, although is very useful, but adaptation of people towards that kind of an application is a process. Why? People must remember that they should be searching this way. They have to just click it on, they have to just talk to Google, and that is what Google wanted. So, this is where usage and consumption and consumption experience comes together, wherein Coca-Cola, as I said earlier, used feelings for their pursuing one of their objectives, and here Coca-Cola actually putting up a consumption experience wherein they invite people to hug their vending machine and so on, and this was a very successful campaign. Coca-Cola and Pepsi and the similar product manufacturers, they have been putting up several kinds of experience based kind of campaigns or transformational ads for people to come closer to their products or getting involved. And you see, this transforming consumption experience also is related to generating further deeper involvement of the customers in due course of time. How you carry along the customers, and one successful campaign of Coca-Cola, I might have mentioned that earlier, but probably if I haven't. So, you see, when people go to several countries to work, they call back home. So, Coca-Cola actually created a scheme wherein you carry the cap of one of the bottles of Coke and use it as a coin for particular time period to call back home on any of the telephone facilities available. That was a very successful campaign, and that again is related to bringing people closer to as far as your product goes and your perspective goes. So, transformational ads definitely focus upon customer involvement. Now, another beautiful element associated with one of the objectives which is very important, situate brand in a social context, and the beautiful element is that we keep on talking about so many social aspects, social problems, social issues around us, but then just beyond a certain discussion we do not move ahead. Several products and organizations, and we have talked about that case study Jagore, which is again a very important element, and I have already demonstrated that. So, similarly, there are few other methods, for example, slice of life ads. Now, Desh Ka Namak, see, Tata Salt utilized this kind of a thing to a larger extent when they promoted Tata Salt as Desh Ka Namak, associating a feeling with as far as and the storyboard also puts up similar kind of a perspective across. This was a very beautiful campaign by Procter and Gamble, mom's ad, although fathers also assure their children, but fathers have not been credited much about that, not to blame anyone, but definitely mom is much ahead and bigger than fathers. So, you see, this mom's ad basically shows a storyboard wherein mom reassures a boy and a girl to have courage or to have strength and those kind of, and then when the confidence of the young children gets shaken up, and this campaign shows almost 9 or 10 sports stars or probably less or more, and wherein these sports stars, they remember those moments where their moms have been assuring them. Very beautiful campaign, it did exceptionally well. And you see, Procter and Gamble on one side, they have been using a different kind of perspective, wherein anxiety element was used to pursue a particular kind of an objective. But on the other side, they have used this social element and social context in through slice of life ads, and that did exceptionally well. Hamara Bajaj we have been discussing and it has done very good. Branded entertainment, product placement. Now this has been an a very innovative thing, although going for n number of years, but placing a particular product within a storyboard in a movie or in a show has been artistic actually, it should gel somehow. And you see Krish was targeted towards younger lot more or less, although youth also watched that movie and it was a successful series. But younger lot fundamentally was the basic target, and they have enjoyed that movie well, and wherein Mr. Hrithik Roshan basically has been shown as a superhero. Now he, because this movie is targeted towards younger lot and he is a superhero, so Bonvita gels with that, and he drinks lots of Bonvita there, and mothers they started saying that when Krish drinks Bonvita, why don't you? So that kind of a thing actually intermingles with the perspective here at the end of the day. Now 10th and probably the last in the list basically, and there can be several others. So 10th objective is related to resolving social disruption and cultural contradictions. Now you see in a large world we have several thought processes, several perspectives going on, several cultural elements are there. So these are also the aspects which can be pursued or which companies have been pursuing in terms of defining their storyboards, narrating stories around their products, or associating themselves logically with the issues and aspects which have been talked about, and they can well resonate with those meaningfully. So for example, this Sindoor Khela campaign of Times of India, it is a beautiful campaign, and I would wish for you to watch this and see that this is a particular kind of a side which a newspaper definitely says that should be looked upon, and because they are a newspaper, so definitely that works with as far as their persona or let us say product image or brand image which they want to pursue, it somehow gets resonated with. And Procter & Gamble Shiksha campaign was definitely successful. I think Mr. Anupam Kher appeared as icon there, and that worked very well. That drew attention from the sides of the customers that little bit contribution can do a very large thing, wherein they started showing that these many schools are getting affected positively through your contribution whenever you are purchasing a product. Now that is very interesting actually. You see, at that particular moment customer gets deviated for a while. Okay, I have been using a particular X kind of a product, and for a while if I start using this product, at least for a while, that can enable my trial as well as that would enable some contribution towards a bigger cause, and little bit of contribution can swell into a big change later on. So and this was very interesting campaign of HUL, the shower campaign, wherein they put up a shower in the middle of the desert, in a small village, and this villager is passing by and he looks at this glass shower and enters there, and as soon as he turns the knob, the water starts flowing, and the first thought which comes to the mind of this villager is to drink that water, because there is water scarcity in several parts of the country, when people definitely have to make many extra efforts to get water for even drinking. So now you see, when he drinks, so people starts coming in, and they also beeline for drinking the water, collecting the water for drinking. And there is a beautiful a clip wherein a young infant is also drinking the water. Basically her mother is feeding her with water. So and then this line comes in wherein they say that half of the village could drink the water from in this time, and one person in the urban area could not even take bath with that kind of a water. So, that is the kind of comparison HUL brought in terms of saving water, that worked a lot and definitely associated HUL with this greater cause. Go Safe Outside was a very successful campaign by Hamam, and Swachh Aadat, Swachh Bharat, Lifebuoy. You see, Lifebuoy definitely has been repeatedly coming up with association of health and cleanliness, and this campaign actually brought in so much to life as far as Lifebuoy goes. So, I would stop here. We have gone through a sequence of probable objectives. There can be many, but one thing which is very important for you to remember at this particular stage is that when we are talking of creativity, execution, message strategy and these kind of elements, start watching lots of campaigns, lots of videos, lots of clips, lots of pictures, and as I said, different objectives being pursued by same organization, and start enumerating the differences or the similarities you are finding in those kind of messages, and then start correlating with the methodologies which I have exemplified in front of you for pursuing these kind of objectives. So, then you would learn that this is how creativity comes into play, creativity becomes a reality. Goodbye for now, I will see you next time.